Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Boost Your English. I'm your host, Andrew Hill, and you are listening to our special segment, The Path to Understanding. Today, we have a story that I've been personally waiting to share with all of you. It's a story about faith, mindset, and the power of the universe. Our guest today is John Beltran. John, thank you so much for being here.
Andrew, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here with the Booster English community. I'm really excited to share my journey.
John, the reason I wanted you here is because many people talk about the law of attraction as a vague concept, but you lived it. You were in a position where you needed to fund your higher education and you had no clear path to do it. Take us back to that moment. How did this all start?
It's emotional to remember, Andrew. About 7 years ago, I felt stuck. I had the dream of going to university, but my bank account said no. I felt frustrated. One night, I stumbled upon a YouTube video, you know how the algorithm works, and it was about a book called The Secret by Rhonda Byrne.
A classic. That's where many people start. Did you believe it immediately?
Not at all. I was a skeptic. I thought, how can thinking about money bring me money? But I was desperate enough to try. I started watching more videos and eventually picked up The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy. That book changed everything. It taught me that it's not just wishing, it's about reprogramming.
I love that. It's about the mindset. So you started reading, you started watching videos, but you needed a significant amount of money for your tuition. What was the first practice you implemented?
I started with visualization. Every night I would close my eyes and see my name on the university enrollment list. I would feel the weight of the backpack on my shoulders. I even wrote a fake check for the exact amount I needed and taped it to my ceiling so it was the first thing I saw every morning.
That takes a lot of discipline. Most people quit after 3 days. How long did it take for things to start moving?
About 3 months. And this is my first real anecdote. I was working a part-time job that barely covered my food. Out of nowhere, an old uncle I hadn't spoken to in years called me. He told me he had sold a piece of land we had inherited long ago, and there was a portion that belonged to me.
No way!
I'm serious. When he told me the amount, Andrew, my heart stopped. It was almost the exact figure I had written on that fake check on my ceiling. Not 10% more, not 10% less. Just what I needed.
That is incredible. I can imagine the chills you felt at that moment. It's like the universe heard the specific order you placed.
Exactly. And that was the spark. After that, I didn't just believe, I knew. I started diving deeper into Ask and It Is Given by Esther and Jerry Hicks. That's when I learned that manifestation isn't just about the big things, it's a lifestyle.
That leads me to my next question. Once you were in university, I'm sure you didn't stop there. You mentioned to me before the recording that you had a couple more experiences where this energy worked for you. Can you share another one?
Of course. This one is more everyday, but just as powerful. During my 3rd semester, I needed a very specific internship to graduate. It was a high-profile position at a tech firm. Hundreds of students applied. Instead of stressing, I used a technique called scripting. I took a notebook and wrote a journal entry dated 3 months into the future, describing how happy I was at my new desk, describing the smell of the office coffee and the names of my colleagues. You wrote it as if it had already happened. Yes, past tense is the key. 2 weeks later, I got an interview. During the interview, the manager looked at me and said, "John, there's something about your energy. You act like you already belong here." I got the job on the spot.
That is the law of vibration right there. You weren't seeking the job, you were matching the job. For our listeners, notice how John isn't just sitting on his couch. He's applying, he's working, but his mind is already at the finish line.
Exactly, Andrew. Action is necessary, but inspired action is what makes the difference. If you act from a place of fear, you get more things to be afraid of. If you act from a place of having, you receive more.
You're making me want to go home and start scripting right now. Do you have one last story for us? Maybe something that happened recently?
Actually, yes. This one taught me about letting go. Last year, I really wanted to travel to a conference in London, but flights were incredibly expensive. I did my manifestations. I felt the joy of being there. But a week before the event, I still had no ticket. Instead of panicking, I said, "Universe, I don't know how, but I'm going." I let go of the how. The next day, I received an email from a travel agency I had used once. They were doing a raffle for a loyalty prize. I clicked a button, not thinking much of it. 2 hours later, "Congratulations, John. You've won a round-trip ticket to Europe."
That's what I call a quantum leap. John, your story is a testament to what is possible when we stop focusing on the lack and start focusing on the possibility.
It really is. And for everyone listening to Boost Your English, I want you to know, I am not special. I don't have a superpower. I just decided to change the narrative in my head. If you start believing that the world is working for you instead of against you, everything changes.
What a powerful way to put it. John, I can feel the emotion in your voice, and I'm sure our audience can too. Before we wrap up, what is one piece of advice, one simple step our listeners can take today to start their own path to understanding?
Start a gratitude journal. Every night, write down 3 things you are grateful for. When you are grateful for what you have, you signal to the universe that you are ready for more. Don't wait for the big money or the big job. Be grateful for the coffee you drank today. That's where the magic starts.
Wow, gratitude as the gateway. John Beltran, thank you so much for joining us on the path to understanding. Your story is truly inspiring, and I know it will move many people to take that first step.
Thank you, Andrew. It was an honor. To everyone listening, believe in yourself because the universe already does.
What an absolutely incredible interview, guys. I truly hope you feel as inspired and motivated right now as I do sitting here. John's journey from a skeptical student with a fake check on his ceiling to a successful professional is a powerful testament to what happens when we stop focusing on what we lack and start focusing on the infinite possibilities around us. It reminds us that our minds are, without a doubt, our most powerful tools, provided we learn to use them wisely. Before we officially sign off today, I want to share a little bit about why we do this. Boost Your English created this podcast with a dual purpose in mind. Of course, we are here to help you sharpen your listening skills and master the nuances of the English language through real, authentic conversations. But beyond the grammar and the vocabulary, our true mission is to provide you with the path to understanding. Content that nourishes your soul and challenges your mindset. We believe that learning a new language should be a journey of personal growth, not just a classroom exercise. Because this show is built for you, our community, we want you to be part of the creative process. What specific topics are you hungry to hear about in our future episodes? Are you interested in more stories about the law of attraction and mindset? Or perhaps you want to dive into professional development, public speaking tips, or how to overcome the fear of making mistakes while learning? Whatever it is that helps you grow, we want to talk about it. Please reach out and let us know your thoughts. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to Boost Your English so you never miss a step on this journey. I'm your host, Andrew Hill, and it has been a pleasure spending this time with you today. We'll see you in the next episode. Until then, keep believing, keep manifesting, and above all, keep learning.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take sh**. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show